You see that there?
Yep.
So this is the 2020 agent business plan. Pretty self-explanatory. Everything's going to start out with your sales goals. So really want to pinpoint what you've done in the previous year, and then you're going to want to set your goals for this year. I know we're halfway through this year. If you haven't done your business plan, there's no better time to start than now. So, just put down your agent gross commission income, number of new listings you want to take, or how many you had last year, units sold last year, and what you want to take this year. Then you can actually do the math to identify what, based on your commission that you're going to want to generate, and how many listings or how many sales it's going to take to get there. And that'll ideally come up with your bottom line goal of finance, how much money you want to make. And then down further, you're going to have your top 3 business goals for 2020. So what are some goals that would attach to those numbers, and what's going to move the needle, if you will? What's going to be your highest dollar value activities? And these are the goals you want to set. So top 3 business goals for 2020. Example here was build agent website. So if you don't have a website, United Real Estate, we have really great websites ready for you. All you have to do is get them set up. And later in this today's meeting, we're going to go over some of that. But what are you going to do with your CRM? Are you going to make sure that you have your top 150 set up? Are you going to set up drip campaigns? Are you going to do some Facebook advertising? What are your goals that you're going to do this year to meet those numbers up above? So it's a great section to really get focused, get clarity on what you're trying to achieve. And then from there, and goals are, kind of the bigger picture, then you're going to take those bigger picture and you're going to break them down into bite-sized pieces. Plan the activities that are going to take you to that goal, which then ultimately will take you to your big picture objectives, which are your numbers. And moving down, this is kind of getting more specific: seller targeting, just listed, just sold mailing program, as an example, which is through the automated marketing through Bullseye, which is the new system where you can actually set up your system there on auto, meaning when you take a listing, it'll automatically send out 50 postcards to neighboring houses to your listing, which is a pretty cool program. I think the 50 for the smallest postcard, which is either a 3x5 or it could be a 4x6, is about $35, which is a small investment. So that's, and then just sold. Once it's sold, then you'll hit those neighbors again, so they can see that, and then you're gardening that market area. You're really circling the wagon, if you will, and trying to hit other potential sellers in that neighborhood. And moving down to your buyer target, what are you going to do to generate some buyer leads? As you agents know, we have OpCity. I've closed 3 OpCity transactions. Ray has closed 2. There is success there. You just got to keep working them. My advice to these is get a good lender who's going to really nurture these leads. Most of the people that we're dealing with OpCity, they're not qualified. Some are. I've gotten lucky and had 2 in the last 6 months that were qualified and ready to go. So you just got to keep working them. It's that whole lead statistic where it's probably converting 1 out of every 20. So you just got to keep working those, or whatever lead generation systems you have. If you're going to do some Facebook advertising, doing some Google ads, whatever you're trying to do to build your target base. Referral business is, in my opinion, the best. Target your top 150. Try to get your past clients to introduce you to more people. And what's your marketing budget going to be? So that's important. especially on the automated marketing system that we have in Bullseye. I think it's a no-brainer if you set them up on the drip campaign, the mailing, the 5-year plan after close. It's $50. It touches them like 48 times in 5 years for $50. So I would incorporate that into your numbers and your marketing budget, and then you'll have a front end marketing budget which try to generate your new leads. So whatever that number is, make sure that you have that. So that's going to help you be successful in generating more business. And the SWOT analysis, not sure if many of you have heard about this, but strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. What are your strengths? Always put that down. That way you can help focus on those things. And then your weaknesses, where can I improve? Or if I'm weak in one area, how can I delegate that to somebody who's better than I am in that? And then opportunities, what are the opportunities? Back to referrals. There's a lot of opportunity in your past clients, friends, family, your sphere of influence. And what are some threats? What are maybe some other agents that are being successful? What are other challenges that you may have? And that'll help you really get clarity on what you need to overcome, what you're really good at, where you need to focus your energy. And then just some statistics, what's the listing inventory out there, making sure what's out there, help you stay focused as well. Customer referral program, pop-by program with former clients. Again, just making sure, and I keep mentioning top 150. This is coaching that I've received from Buyer for Only, Joe Stump, and he talks about identifying the top 150 clients that are advocates for you, ones that are actually going to introduce you to people, not the ones that you just close and they after 3 years you really haven't nurtured them enough, or after 3 years they just haven't you've asked and asked and asked and they're just not advocating for you. You need to hone that in and get that database down to 150. There's a lot of people out there, they have thousands of names in their database, friends, family members, sphere, Facebook, all different contacts. That's not successful. You need to be successful targeting those people who are going to advocate for you. And that ties in down below with the client marketing strategies, making sure you set up a marketing plan to stay in touch with your past clients, your sphere as well. Anybody who's going to advocate for you. They didn't have to buy or sell from you, but if they're going to introduce you to people, you want to keep them on your list. And then what are you going to do to stay involved in the community? This is very important, networking. Current state of affairs, you're going to probably want to try to get into some Facebook groups that are online, a lot of Zoom meetings, see what you're interested in and get involved in that. I had success with soccer. I've been coaching soccer for 15 plus years, and I utilize that as a good networking opportunity. So if you're involved in sports, or if you're involved in Rotary Club, HOA, anything that holds dear to your heart, get involved and network. Use that to your advantage. That's an opportunity. And basically that's it. That's the business plan. It's pretty simple. It's only 4 pages. I think the last one that we had out there was probably somewhere around 15 pages, very detailed. If you want to really go deep and you really want to identify certain value areas and dig deeper into your soul, I have some longer ones that you can deal with, but I think this one is straightforward, simple. You can just jump in it. We can help provide coaching for you as well. So that's the business plan. What do you think?
Looks good.
Pretty simple. Pretty simple. Yeah. I like the flow. It really goes well. So.
Yeah, it just reminds me of how important, when you're putting goals down, just to, to write them down, how important that is. And it really, even when you're a little bit, shooting a little bit high, it seems like, at least for me, when I put them down on paper, all of a sudden I've accomplished it. So it's a great tool.
Yeah, they say when you write it down, it actually, strengthens the power of accessing that, or realizing a dream or a
Yeah,
goal. So
it does.
I know you're really good at your planning, and I've seen your book, and it's really detailed, and I know you've been hitting a lot of your marks. So,
Yeah,
proof is in the pudding.
right.
It also is, there's a big talk of fear, though. When we talk about planning, there's a fear that, oh, if I put that down, what if I don't make it? And you know what? That's okay. You can improve from that. So if you set your goal for hitting 10 to 12 transactions this year and you hit 8, that's a success. I mean,
Right.
whatever it is. I mean, obviously we want to be realistic, set smart goals. But you got to write something down. Even if you're just writing a number down and say, I want to, the part-time agents, they just want to hit like 2 to 4. That's your goal. Write it down. And then if you share it, that strengthens as well. And you share it with us, then we're going to identify ways that we can help you. We can be your cheerleaders, and it'll help us as well identify where we need to spend our time and energy. So
Sure.
go ahead and reach out to us. We already sent this out. We're going to have a training site. This is going to be posted to here real soon, as soon as it gets completed. But you can access it from me. We can get that out to you. So moving on, we're going to go to